All right, welcome everyone. I see people are rolling in, so we'll slowly get started here. My name is Amanda Schoenfeld. I am your host today, and I'm also the content marketing specialist here at APSIS, and I sit in Malmo. I'm here today with my colleague Benjamin and also Nana from Web CRM, and maybe you guys can start slowly introducing yourself while we have more people join.
Want to go first?
Yes, I'll go first then. My name is Nana and I work from Web Crm in the Copenhagen office. I have been working as a consultant for nearly 4 years, but now I work with the customer success executive. So yes, looking forward to this webinar.
All right, I'm Benjamin. I manage the dev team building integrations at APSIS, and I've also been responsible for the product ownership for those for the past couple of years. And I've technically been with APSIS for 7 years, and I'm seated in Stockholm.
Very nice. Great. And a few more quick notes, I guess, before we really get into it. Everyone will be muted for the duration of the webinar. So any questions can be written in the little question box on the GoToWebinar panel. And we will actually have an allotted, like about 10 minutes or so at the end to answer all questions. Of course, we could stay longer if there's lots of questions. And also this webinar will be recorded. So just so you know, and it will be available on the website and in a follow-up email. Just in case I talk too quickly, you will be able to go back and look it over. But yes, let's get started then. It seems like we have plenty of people joined so far. All right, so I'm going to start by introducing APSIS and APSIS One. For those of you who don't know, let's have a short introduction into the platform and what we do here at APSIS. APSIS One, the platform in itself, is an all-in-one marketing platform where you can turn data into sharp insights and even sharper customer experiences. APSIS One is all you need to improve your results, increase retention, and grow your business, all through one smooth interface. Who are we at APSIS? We are marketers at heart. We provide digital marketing tools by marketers for marketers, and we want to enable great customer journeys in an easy and scalable way. What is our mission? To deliver personal and scalable solutions for data-driven marketing. And to take that to the next step, our vision is to be the smartest, easiest, and most supportive guide into data-driven marketing. Where did we begin? Over the years here at APSIS, we've become one of the leading experts in email marketing. It's our legacy, and it is what we do best. As the customer journey has evolved, marketing has adapted into new technologies and capabilities, and so have we. While our focus on developing sophisticated and up-to-date data-driven marketing is unparalleled, we know that email marketing kind of remains one of the main cornerstones of the customer journey. And so this is where we are now. Beginner or pro, it doesn't really matter. APSIS One still makes it easy for you to use data to create stunning emails that your audiences can't wait to open. But now you also have all the modern marketing tools that you need wrapped into one. So data-driven marketing doesn't have to require tough work, heavy IT lifting, or a multitude of complex systems. We've tried to change all of that by creating an easy-to-use platform that allows for advanced personalization, and that's with our native tools. And this should cover all your needs in one interface. You can even add integrations to scale up your solution as you grow. And that's actually why we are here today. So it's quite simple. We want to help you gather your data, automate your customer journey, and grow your business. With that said, I'm going to hand it over to Nana to introduce Web CRM.
Yes, thank you very much, Amanda. You can just go to the next slide. Yes, Web CRM is made simple. Web CRM has more than 20,000 users worldwide, and more than 2,500 companies in 20 different countries are using Web CRM today. We have more than 40 dedicated CRM employees in Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland, and so on. We are biggest in the Northern Europe market, but are also in the other countries. Although that Web Crm is a global company with offices in several countries, we are still very local. And when you call us and when you call the support phone, we will always speak your local language. Yes, and the next one. Yes. Web Crm was founded in 2005, and we went to the international market in 2009. And the founders of Web Crm found that they were actually looking for a CRM system themselves, but they found that the ones on the market were too complicated, and therefore they created their own CRM system. Web Crm is created by salespeople, and the ideas for the system features were conceived in real life situations. That is also that is why we always had a sharp focus on determining which option our CRM system needs to have and not to have. We say that a new system is only successful when it's being used, and it's being used every day. And all functions in Web Crm are adapted to the daily life of the sales team. CRM is a very flexible system, and the basic functions can be used in many different ways. So you can customize the system, and you can remove unnecessary fields or other functions. Yes. Yes. Yes, of course, we say that the Web Crm is made for salespeople, but of course, we also have a lot of other functions and departments in a company that are using Web Crm. So this just show, like, of course, we have the sales, but we also have the accounting and the support and the marketing and so on. Web Crm gathers all knowledge and information about each customer relations, and not just from sales work, but also from marketing, accounting, customer service, and so on. And in Web Crm, all your customer data is collected in one place online, and you can access them at any time. Task management, overview of meeting, quote, statements, orders, and personal relations are classic CRM content. And in our Web Crm system, you can get all that in an easy and manageable way. You can adjust the system at a user level, so that you will be shown exactly what is relevant for you when you log into Web Crm. Yes. We understand that a company is not only run from a CRM system, and that is why we are fully integrable with all other system features and programs, and that keeps the wheels turning. You can freely transfer information from your spreadsheets, save email history in customer records, synchronize with your calendar, email, integrate your ERP system, and learn more about your customer with the market data platform. So here on this side, you can see like a lot of the integration we have, and luckily we now also have an integration to the APSIS One. Yes. So yeah, of course, it was just a very short introduction to Web Crm. So yeah, if you have more questions about it, just let me know.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to move over to talking about kind of the main pains of disconnection when you don't have your CRM and your marketing platform integrated. And these are some of the main pain points that your business might be facing due to a lack of harmony, therefore, between your sales and marketing efforts. Your sales and marketing teams might be spending more time on administrative tasks rather than focusing on the tasks that actually matter. Working with just a CRM system or a marketing platform alone actually restricts your sales and marketing efforts and puts data into silos. You also might be working with time-consuming manual exports and imports, duplicated data, and outdated info. Does this sound familiar? Working with old school Excel sheets or disconnected systems is comparable to putting up walls between sales and marketing departments, which then leaves you with inconsistent customer journeys and a possible loss of customers and prospects. And nobody wants that. So therefore, why should you integrate Web CRM and APSIS One? APSIS One is to marketers what CRM is to sales. where CRM generates and organizes data, APSIS One makes that data actionable and provides tools for intelligent, personalized engagement. So do more with less, market smarter, drive sales, and grow faster. But to simplify it a bit, let's break it down into 5 major benefits. So number 1, enhance the customer relationship and elevate their experience. Number 2, automate the repetitive or impersonal sales activities. Number 3, help sales follow up effortlessly and deliver a proactive service. Number 4, learn what your customers like and how they engage with you. And leave data silos and inconsistent journeys behind is number 5. So back to number 1. Ensuring the smoothest customer journey is the best way to create repeat customers. Synchronizing your web CRM and with APSIS One will give you greater opportunities to drive engagement across digital and physical channels and develop these meaningful customer relationships. And I actually have an example for you. If you want to invite your highest qualifying prospects to an exclusive event, with web CRM, you'd be able to find these leads with the highest potential and to further gauge interest, identify the ones who have attended similar events. While APSIS would then help you craft and deliver these targeted messages to these profiles, automating a series of emails to follow up and retarget in the future. Actually, before I go into the next one, I wanted to ask you, Nana, did you have anything to add from the web CRM perspective to benefit number 1?
No, not that much, but of course, it also, as a salesperson, if you can see what the customers like or don't like, you can follow up on them, and you can get that information in web CRM as a task or whatever. So
yeah, that sounds great. Let's see. Oh, now I'm ahead. Oh. Okay, so back to number 2. There is a difference between working hard and working smart. Your sales teams are usually up to their necks in admin tasks, writing sales reports, and following up with leads. When you can provide them with the tools to reduce these manual and repetitive tasks, it will help them carry out their day-to-day work much more effectively. Which leads me to the 5 stages of the customer journey that you can actually automate when you integrate your CRM with APSIS One. So for example, Web CRM and APSIS One can help you track page views, clicks, and opens by prospects to find opportunities to reach out. This is like connecting key behaviors to automate your welcome email in real time. You can also, instead of going back and forth manually to find suitable timing by automating responses, you can actually do that with something like Calendly. So it's a meeting scheduler, which is really great. You can also send targeted campaigns to multiple audiences with just one email by segmenting based on interest, industry, and stage of the customer journey, which is made easy by APSIS One's email tool. It has like this row segmentation, and it's really easy to use and completely fuss-free. Number 4, we also have targeted alerts and reminders. So when contacts enter a specific stage of the customer journey, like the day before a trial ends or when they download a white paper, you can actually assign a profile tag that triggers alerts or reminders to sales reps so they never miss an opportunity to follow up. And last but not least, you can also set up automated thank you SMS or email messages to contacts after meetings. So this is just a few of the examples of ways you can automate the customer journey. Back to number 3. Having a CRM plugged into your marketing solution helps you stay in contact with customers so you can consistently gauge their level of satisfaction with your brand. So pairing Web CRM with APSIS One can help you be better equipped to track customer interactions and quickly identify sales opportunities, allowing you to nurture leads, make informed decisions, adapt and win deals faster, and also manage tasks and contacts and sales conversations. Do you have anything to add before we move on to number 4, Nana?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. I think Benjamin is going to be showing a lot of this later,
Yes.
some more concrete examples. All right, so knowing how many web visitors, clicks, or page sessions you have is quite good, but undoubtedly knowing who the people are behind those numbers would be even better. And you can't get these insights from your marketing platform alone or your CRM system alone. So as an example, if you have an existing customer that registers for one of your upcoming webinars, this is then logged into your CRM system and it will send a notification to their account manager. After doing some digging, you might find out that they've been looking at products, services, resources related to this particular topic, which then means your account manager can pass on relevant info, targeted offers, and they're in a better position to upsell your product or service. Last but not least, for the benefits, number 5, working with old school Excel sheets, as we talked about before, or disconnected systems really does put up those walls between marketing and sales departments. The limitations of data void business will ultimately spill over into the customer experience, and we don't want that. That's why working with just a CRM system or a marketing platform alone will continue to restrict your marketing efforts. So syncing Web CRM to APSIS One unlocks a smarter way to conduct your business and getting an overall view of customers, and that also allows for end-to-end accountability, so nothing will be lost in between. And with that said, I'm actually going to hand over to Benjamin in just a moment. He's going to show you somewhat of the integration in practice, how to use data that makes sense for your business, and how to bring that data to action. And just give me one moment. Let's see. I believe you have access now, Benjamin. Show everyone what they really want to see now.
Yeah, I'm about to. You can see the screen now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Got some lag on the control panel. Cool. So let's show what it's really about then, as Amanda put it. So obviously we're going to look at how easy it is to connect Web CRM with APSIS One today, and I've actually already connected it here, but to get to this point you just paste an API key and you're good to go. And as a marketeer, you're doing all of this from within your marketing tool, APSIS One in this case. And that's because we want the marketeer to be in full control of what is going on and what is happening, and yeah, be able to not run to the IT department every time a change is required. And APSIS One is based around the idea of having one profile per person that has interacted with your brand. And of course, when we take this in the context of Web CRM, most CRMs, we obviously start the profile from the person entity. So that's what we're going to start with right now. So I'm going to head into my field mappings here. And I've already created a mapping from the first name on the contact card to first name on the profile in APSIS One. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing here that apparently I did before the meeting, for the webinar. I'm going to put last name here and map that to last name on the profile. And here, basically what I'm doing is I'm giving a very, very basic instruction saying that whenever a person is created inside of Web CRM, then a profile should be created inside of APSIS One, and it should get the first and last name of that person. Obviously, as a proper marketeer, you would map a whole lot more than this, but to get the message across, I'm stopping here. And now I'm just going to jump straight into Web CRM to my test organization here, and I'm going to add a person. We'll call this Elsa Johansson. Elsa.Johansson@apsis.com, and I'm going to say that she is a sales manager. And actually that means I want the job title mapped as well. That could be interesting. So I'm just going to make sure I have job title, and I can map that to job title and save. So I've just quickly created a person here. I'm going to go ahead and save Elsa. And now already we should be able to see that a profile has been created. Just need to find Elsa's person ID in line, which I take from the URL here. It's 15. So I can head straight over to my audience tab inside of APSIS One, where I see my audience or the individual profiles within it. And I'm just going to paste 15, since that was the ID that Elsa got. And now here she is. So I have Elsa Johansson, her job title is Sales Manager, and already now I have something to start some kind of marketing with. So building on top of this, we are, as Amanda says, marketeers at heart, and this is also intended for a marketeer. So I think we all understand the importance of consent. We can't send anything unless we've gotten consent, or at least we shouldn't. So we can head into our consent mappings here and make sure that if we have some kind of consent information in the CRM, then we're transferring that as well, so that the created profiles are kind of ready to go. And this is where we differ a little bit system by system, but for Web CRM, we don't have a dedicated consent entity, which means that for now we simply add checkboxes on the contact card, and we simply map these checkboxes to what we call topics inside of APSIS One. So here I have the nyhetsbrev and technical newsletter. And for the non-Scandinavians here, nyhetsbrev just means newsletter in Danish. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly, before we start mapping those, I'm actually going to go into my audience tab, and I'm going to look at what we're mapping these to. So I'm going to head it here. We have our consent lists, and I'm just going to make sure I'm on the right section of the account. And I've pre-created a consent list that I'm calling marketing. And under this marketing consent list, I have two topics, newsletter and technical newsletter, just like the two checkboxes I had on the contact card, even though one of them was in Danish. So this is where we store the kind of explicit consent of a person or a profile. So if someone has given opt-in to newsletter or technical newsletter, then we are allowed to send about these topics. If they have opted out to either of these or just not given consent, then maybe we aren't allowed and we won't be sending to those. So that's the kind of underlying consent mechanism here. So these topics, basically, we map them to the checkboxes. So in my consent mappings here, just click new mapping. And here I get a list of the checkboxes, and I'm picking the nyhetsbrev, Danish newsletter, and I'm mapping that to my newsletter topic and say that this is for email. And then I could do this for any other, for the technical newsletter and so on as well if I want to. So I'm just going to save that, and this gives me, if we look here, if we go back to Elsa Johansson here, who had CRM ID 15, we don't see anything under consent lists and topics. But if we head into here, now since we mapped the newsletter checkbox to the newsletter topic, let's go ahead and check that. Oh, I need to enter this form in edit mode. Hold on. So where is she? Elsa. There she is. I'm just going to click the pen. And now I'm going to click nyhetsbrev and save. So now we've checked this box, which means that the instruction we just gave, which says if they check this box, then they have consented to nyhetsbrev or newsletter, that has now been activated. So if I reload the page here on her profile, then we see here marketing newsletter is listed under her consents, and we see a little email symbol here as well. If I had picked SMS, there would be a little phone symbol here instead, and yeah, aside from that, it would look the same way. So that's kind of a super basic way of just representing the consent. It's super easy. You just map it and then you got it. And of course, if we go ahead or if she goes ahead and clicks the opt-out link in the footer of an email, then we will of course write this one to send a message back to uncheck this checkbox. So that's a very, very easy way to just import what you want when you want it. And this all works in real time, as you've seen. But of course, real time won't apply to all of your historical data. So we have a full sync tab as well, where I can click a button, and that's going to make us download all of your data and create profiles and populate them with the mapped information as per the settings we've made here. But I think we all understand that it will look the same as these. So let's talk about a more interesting feature, which is the filters. So as many of you probably know, Web CRM users, there is a filter feature in Web CRM where we can create a filter basically for our persons. And here I've imported a filter called contract value higher than 100K to treat as some kind of high value segment or mid value segment, depending on, I guess, what kind of business I'm doing. Did this one this morning, and basically what this does is it adds a so-called tag to the contacts. So if to the profiles. So if I go back here to my audience and I look at one of the contacts or the profiles of one of the contacts that match this filter, that's Joe Boulder, we'll see that he has been given a tag here, Web CRM filter contract value over 100K. And this is a direct result of the tag or the filter import we have here. And I can run these filters ad hoc when I want to, like this. So I click new import and then I choose the filter, and that tags all the profiles of matching contacts. But I can also set it up to happen recurringly. So I can go in here, I click manage, as I just did, so manage, and then I just check this box here and save. So that's going to then have it happen on a schedule and keep things up to date, so you always know exactly which profiles match exactly which filters. And this is then what I can use in order to bring my data to some action here. So if I head over to our tools page, the green button down here, and let's see here, then we have our email tool, SMS tool, product recommendations, marketing automation, and so on. I'm going to just quickly head into email before we look at the cool stuff in marketing automation. I'm going to create an email right away, and I'm going to call this special newsletter for high value customers. And I'm just choosing a section on my account, and next. Now I choose my news template. Of course, you can have your own templates. These are our out of the box templates, but for now I think news is more than good enough. And here I can then write the content I want. I'm able to drag and drop all these parts of the newsletter. Probably I wouldn't put the hero image like that, but I could if I wanted to. It's all drag and drop, and you have this rich little text editor showing up, helping you do things the right way. And when I'm happy with this, I just click next step. And here's where I work with the consent that I just imported, newsletter, so we mapped. And under segmentation, I can now make it very easy for myself and just pick the tag, the Web CRM filter contract value higher than 100K. And now I say include profiles that contain or that are matched by this tag. And after I click next and go through a couple other steps here, this will be sent out. So very, very easily, I've been able to communicate to people matching specific criteria that I've set up. And I'm actually not going to send this since Elsa Johansson and Joe Boulder don't exist for real, but I'm going to go straight back to marketing to tools here and head into marketing automation instead. So this is our tool for doing some more sophisticated things based on the data you have. So and we do this with so-called flows. I'm just going to create one real quick, and then you'll understand what a flow is. Say flow 1 high value customers, and say demo 1 and go next. So marketing automation is basically a way for you as a marketeer to construct long-running lines of communication or campaigns that act in a way that you want, but after you've done the setup, then everything kind of handles itself. So we always start this with a listen note. I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to say that every day I want those that recently got the tag high contract value or over 100K. I want those to enter this flow. And now right away, I want to send them an email. I just drag an email note in here. So I can even align them. That. And here is where, of course, I need to create an email to send to them. We already looked at how to create an email, so I'm not going to do that right now. And here's where things can get a little interesting, because maybe we want things to work a little bit differently based on the people we're sending to. So right now, this is like everyone who's recently gotten the 100K tag, they'll be sent this email. Now what I can do, I can split people up a little bit here. So I can do check profile. And now I say, maybe if their job title, so I'm going to find job title, it's right here, is equal to sales manager, then I want to do things in a certain way. So in that case, I'm thinking maybe sales managers, they want things a bit more like this. They're a bit, they want some action. So then I'm going to just wait a very, very short amount of time for the sales managers. So to begin with, I'm just adding a wait here, and I'm saying 1 day. So from the yes exit here, I'm saying if they're a sales manager, I wait 1 day, and then I send them the next email right away. And of course, if they aren't a sales manager, maybe they are some kind of role that we consider to usually want a little bit more space in between, then maybe I say set the countdown to 1 week instead. And let's see here, like that, and I can just drag the no exit here, maybe just rearrange this a little bit. So I'll drag this one up here and I'll drag this one like that. And then for those people, maybe SMS is more fitting for that demographic. So here I can very, very easily, I mean, I've identified the right, I've imported the data that's interesting for this kind of communication. And then I've just made sure that everyone who has this 100K tag, they immediately get sent an email once they get the tag, basically. Then, depending on what their title is, I mean, I could evaluate this check based on anything. Then I schedule things differently. I send different kinds of communication, and in the end, I could of course join this with maybe another little bit of a wait. So these both lead into here, and in the end, I send an email. So I'm able to, you know, split people up a little bit based on who they are, what I know about them, and then I can join them back together or keep them separated depending on what fits. So that's a very brief overview of a very basic flow you can set up. You can do pretty much anything you want in here, and you'll be able to very soon to integrate with Web CRM from in here as well. So for example, you might be interested in like people going to the terms and conditions page on your website, for example. And if those people are also gold customers, then you maybe get a little bit worried. So I could change this one here to listen for events here. And I go to website interactions, and I go to my auto collect here, and I pick page view. So now, as soon as anyone has been to a page with the URL containing terms and conditions, and yeah, I should add the tag there as well. But so now everyone has been there a certain amount of times, maybe 3 times on the terms and conditions. Whoops, 3 within 3 days. Then I want to make sure that somebody calls them and talks to them. And so there's going to be one of these nodes available for creating an activity or a task for a salesperson. So right away from the so somebody goes a certain amount of time to the terms and conditions page, and they're also a very high value customer, then right away you create an activity in Web CRM of like a phone call task, and you create a little bit of a note here. You create it ahead of time so that the salesperson calling them will know what to talk to them about. So this way you'll be able to truly integrate data from pretty much every source that you're getting it from and put it to use in pretty much any channel available to you. And that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. So I will hand it back to you, Amanda.
Thank you, Benjamin. That was really great. Let's see. I don't have much else for you guys other than a slide that has all of our emails on it. Let's see. Here we go. So now the time has come for questions. Let's see if there's any questions rolling in. But in the meantime, I have the big question for you, Benjamin. What does this integration look like now? I mean, you just showed a lot of it, and like, what is the future roadmap? Like, is there more features coming? What's exciting about this?
So, I mean, right now, as you said, I just showed it, so it's hard to comment much more. But for kind of the future of this, we are, I mean, as I just showed you as well, very soon we'll be integrating our marketing automation flows with Web CRM. And in conjunction with that, we'll also start integrating with like being able to take data from various entities connected to the contact, both entities having a kind of parent relationship, like something that has many contacts, and things having the opposed relationship. So we can import, maybe if you're tracking purchases, if you're tracking support interactions, we can add those as events to your profile. So for example, you'll be able to trigger marketing automation based on somebody just talked to support and they were angry, for example. Maybe that's actually when you want to stop marketing automation, and so on. So that's kind of what's around our corner. Yep. And yeah, I think those are the most interesting things as well.
Yeah, definitely. And Nana, do you have, I know you were excited to see the demo in practice. Do you have any questions for Benjamin yourself from the Web CRM perspective? Oh, you're still muted.
Sorry. Yeah, it was really cool to watch. I could see some of the features that I would use myself. For example, I sit with customers. So if they look at our terms and conditions, I will have that activity. That would be very cool. And just like when you work as a salespeople with Web CRM, you want to use like your time smart, as you said already, Amanda. So I think it will just save them some time. You want to know as much as you can about your customers, and you can get that even better in Web CRM with the integration to APSIS. So yeah, looking forward to.
Yeah, I love getting your perspective on it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we do have actually now a few questions. I don't know, I'll ask them to both of you, but whoever feels like answering, I think they're a little bit, they look a little bit technical. So let's see. We use Mailchimp now for data/stats. Where do we find data in APSIS One?
When you say where do we find
data?
It? Yeah. So I will do my best to answer this question. So we have various ways to look at your data. I mean, I showed you how to look at an individual profile. That's, of course, usually that's not something you look at individual profiles and look at all their interactions. Maybe you don't do that so much. That's more of a visualization thing. But we have, for example, a segment editor. And in this segment editor, I can make queries where I say, everyone who's viewed this page and opened this email and have a contract value higher than 100K, for example, maybe they're my segment for active users that also are of a high contract pay. And what I can do with the segment, of course, I can make activations for it, like things I just showed you based on that. But I can also plot its history. I can make exports of data from all of the profiles matching it. So I can say, okay, give me the, maybe not the names, but the ages of these people. If you want to do that kind of analysis, I can ask it for something like, I don't know, all the purchases made by people matching the segment and so on. I'm not sure if I'm answering exactly where do you see the data, but that's.
I think maybe they mean if you see the data in Web CRM, or you actually have to go to APSIS to see the data,
Okay,
because with
great.
Mailchimp you sometimes can see some of the data in Web CRM, and some of the data you have to go to Mailchimp to see it. So like for some people that are only working with Web CRM, of course they want to have all the information, but do they have to go to APSIS to see it, or can they see it in Web CRM?
Perfect. Thanks for that. But that's probably exactly
Yeah.
what we meant here.
Yeah.
So what we can do is we will be able to do, not today, but fairly soon, is to show on the contact card in Web CRM. We'll be able to see who has viewed which email, who has viewed which page, and things of that nature. And starting out, we will only be able to see. We will not be able to make queries based on it, because it will be read when you load the contact card. And also a roadmap item, something I really should have mentioned when you asked me about that. We'll be able to transfer this kind of data over, so that you can use it for what you wanted to use it for.
Yeah, thank you for both the input on that. We also have a question: how do you identify a customer in relation to a specific page view? So maybe, yeah, how it's tracked maybe.
It's actually a very cool underlying mechanic. So I told you we have these profiles, right? So and we want to create one profile for, like, one single profile for everyone who's interacted with your brand. And of course that's very hard, because page views and things like that, they are anonymous, as you're saying. So the way we handle this is that we, for example, if you send out an email through APSIS One, then we append a little ID to all the links that you add to the email, so that when somebody clicks on a link and lands on your website, then we have a little ID in the URL, and that means our web script can see this ID, and it also sees its own ID, and then it sends a little signal so that APSIS One knows that, okay, this anonymous web profile probably belongs to the same person that received this email, and then it puts those together into one profile, and we call that a merge. So that's kind of how you grow your anonymous profiles into more holistic profiles over time. And of course, so installing APSIS One on the first day, you don't have one profile for everyone, but over time you approach that, and it's fairly quick.
Okay, very cool. Here's an interesting one too, from my perspective, especially as a content person. I can see that you have automation for paid social. Is LinkedIn part of that currently?
Not currently, but it will be.
Okay.
So we're starting with the Facebook audiences there. So you'll be able to, from the flows I showed you, you'll be able to like insert somebody into a Facebook audience, and also, as long as Facebook support it, remove someone from a Facebook audience.
Okay, and it'll be quite the same for LinkedIn?
Yes, I would imagine so. I'm not up to speed on the exact details, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, cool. And the second part to that is, and are you planning to introduce an organic social post planning system?
Sounds cool, but I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we kind of have that within APSIS One, no? Like, I mean, there's other social tools that we already have, but I guess they're not then yet connected to Web CRM.
I struggle to answer, because maybe we can elaborate a little bit more on what it is.
Yeah. I think they want automation, but like with organic social posts on the different platforms is what they're.
So, for example, something similar we're doing. I'm not sure if it fits the bill here, but very soon you'll be able to, for example, from if you post ads on your not the kind of advertisements you see on the side of your Facebook feed, but the kind of ads that go into your Facebook feed and have some kind of sign up form and so on. We'll be able to create profiles from those very soon. But I'm not sure, like this whole planning thing part of it. I don't think I'm answering the right question, but maybe we need to get
Yeah, it might be the wording also. But whoever asked this, please let us know if we can elaborate at all. Next question also, Mailchimp is having temp for good practice. Do you also? I'm not sure I fully understand that one either.
Well, what are they having? Temp?
Yeah, it just says temp. Mailchimp is having temp for good practice. Maybe they can also elaborate on that one a bit.
Yeah, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, okay. In the meantime, we have, wow, they just keep coming now. So what data, for example, campaign results, can be transferred back from APSIS One to Web CRM? Opt-out mentioned in the webinar.
So, and this kind of goes hand in hand with one of the answers I gave to one of the first questions about where to see the data. So very soon you'll be able to see on the contact card, like this person has viewed this page, or this contact has opened this email. And of course, moving forward, you'll be able to see more things, but that's kind of where we start.
Okay, cool.
Benjamin, would it be on the person's card, the contact card? So you would have to create
yeah,
I
imagine so. I imagine so. I don't want to say exactly where,
okay.
but I would imagine.
Okay.
We are at 11:15, so if anyone has to leave, feel free. I just want to answer this one last question before we go. A follow-up on one of the questions that was asked. Thanks for the explanation about identifying with email. Just a short one to this, is iOS 15 making that difficult for tracking users coming from Apple devices? I know that's been a big topic lately. And
yeah.
that was that. Yeah, the full
And
question.
we have a lot of. I was involved in a bigger forum for that about a year ago, and after that, ownership has been like it's with a different team. So I don't know the exact details, but I know we had some pretty clever solutions actually.
Okay.
So of course everything is hard when kind of privacy implementations get harder and harder and harder, but it's not impossible to still do good things. But there are people better than me at giving a good technical response.
Yeah, we can definitely, if someone shoots us an email, we can definitely get those answers for them. And we did have, I totally understand what they meant about Mailchimp now. It was short for templates. So Mailchimp has templates for good practice for layout. Do we also?
Yeah, of course. Like you saw the one I use, for example, I use our built-in news templates, and then there's a bunch of others, and you can create your own, of course. What you can also do, which is pretty cool, is we have a huge library of images and things that you can add, which make it fairly easy to create something good looking in a short time.
Yeah, that's a good thing to highlight too, now that I understand this question. I know people really love our layouts and how easy it is to like drag and drop and everything. And one more with the organic social post planning tool. They mean like Hootsuite. I don't know if I've heard of that one, where you can also plan out a week ahead with what you want to post. I guess that, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. That sounds very interesting, actually. We have somebody who is more responsible for the social aspects of things than I am. So probably that's something we would have to get back about as well, but it sounds really interesting and sounds like something we would want to do.
Yeah, yeah, if whoever asked this question, if they want to reach out to you, maybe you can connect them with that person. Yeah, cool. And I think we had some more people that wanted to have further conversations, but since we're running out of time, I will ask those who have any more questions to please email one of us, and we will find you the right person to talk to, or the answers to your questions. And yeah, I guess thank you everyone for listening in today and being engaged. And we had a lot of great questions. And like I said, if you happen to think of any more, feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we will connect you with the right people. Any final words from Nana or Benjamin?
No, I've learned some more about APSIS, so that's been really cool. I could really see like a lot of the webCRM customers can use this tool. A lot of them could use the automation that you have. So yes, and if you want, of course, to know more about webCRM, hope so, just contact me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, per usual, to both of you, and especially Benjamin for handling all the technical aspects that I cannot do. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for today. And we hope you enjoyed. The recording will be sent in the follow-up email and will be featured on the webinar page on our website. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye. Bye.